It's in the
Welcome.
moment. You got to get me in the moment. You lose.
You with all these rants. Uh, like I'm just waiting on you to just go ahead and just take over the show because everybody's been waiting to hear you back on another episode of OAF Discussion. Only as a fan. Welcome back, everybody. How's everybody been doing out there?
Were
Uh,
we supposed to
oh
respond to that,
no,
or was
oh
that?
no, that was to them. I wanted to hear them. But
That
can't you
was,
hear it in the
oh,
background? You can't hear them
I like
yelling.
Dora the Explorer.
Yeah, give them that pause,
Okay, okay.
small pause. But welcome back for another episode. We
Episode
have
57.
episode which one?
57. According to our pod being, yeah.
Jeez, 57. I think it's gonna be actual. What was our 50th episode?
That was that's when I returned. And we were just
So got
Iron
you back.
Fist and Resident Evil 7 a little bit.
Got you. So welcome to episode 57, and welcome back everybody. We have Shayna back. Um, Before we just get into what has Shayna been doing, Webb, what have you been up to lately?
Lately, as of this week, I don't know. I've been trying to catch up on reading for the summer
Okay.
and decided to, I think I'll be better off with doing audiobooks. At the same time, why not do or try both? So I went ahead and just messed around with the Kindle Unlimited. I'm on the 30-day trial right now.
Okay.
Messing with 3 books as we speak. I'm almost done with Souls of Black Folk by W.E.B.
Okay.
I made a pretty good dent in an autobiography of Malcolm X. And there was also some weird little business book I'm reading. I'm just kind of skimming through that. I got 30 more minutes left on that audiobook there. As far as what else happened this week, I'm trying to remember now. I found my Rubik's Cube.
Wait, what?
I found my Rubik's Cube that I bought some time ago. I found that, and now I want to sit there and try to remember how to solve it and everything. So, I actually learned how to solve it to begin with.
I mean, there's a YouTube video for that, but do you have the giant one or like the really small handheld one, like the really small one?
I got it's handheld.
Well, I mean,
We
they're
stay
all
trying to
handheld.
decide.
But okay, so they had like the big blocks Rubik's cubes, like I'm trying to think of size
How
wise.
big are we talking? Yeah, like a textbook.
You probably could get one that way, probably as big as like a video game case or a movie case. Like, no, that's way too big too.
Well, hold on. By comparison, let me go ahead there.
As
By
big as
comparison,
as big as one's head. How about that? As big as one's head,
like
like a
larger
taco.
larger than the handheld, like what I got right now.
Well, they make some smaller than that.
Okay, yeah, I've seen
So
those. Like they go on keychains and stuff.
yeah, well, heck, there's even one bigger than the keychain, but like it's made for like little kids, like people who got little whopper hands. So I have one on my desk
Yes.
that might not be bigger than my mouse, like the keyboard mouse. I mean the mouse.
Oh, okay.
So when I try to do that, like it feels like I'm literally about to break it because it's so small and things don't shift right. Shayna, when's the last time you did a Rubik's cube?
Oh, couldn't tell you.
All right,
Been several years.
all right. Well, good luck trying to refigure out how to beat
I
the
may
Rubik's
I
cube.
may document it. I think I'm gonna document it. Like my goal is to figure this out before the end of the week, before the next episode.
All
So
right,
what I'm gonna do is sit there and I'm gonna actually take me trying to figure this out each day. As far whether fail or not, regardless, you'll see, you'll find out.
all right. I'll be looking forward to this one way or another. If you can, after you do this one, can you do the pegs to get it down to like one peg that you used to get at like Texas Roadhouse and stuff at like all the restaurants?
Oh, I remember those.
Yeah, those are
The
my
furthest I
favorites.
got was 2.
I got it once, or yeah.
Mm. Yeah, furthest I can remember getting it was 2, and then like not remembering how I did it and everything. So, and it ain't often I go to Cracker Barrel to begin with. So,
Right. So there you go. If anybody has one of those, let us know. What did you get it down to? Would you a 1, 2, 3? Or you only got to like 5? Who knows? But it doesn't sound like a
mhm.
bad week. Webb finding the Rubik's cube and everything. But we have Shayna back, and I would have to say you've definitely got to listen to some of the episodes, and some of the listeners have reached out and talked to me and was like, your absence was missed, very missed, and the boys went rampant apparently when you're gone. So, you know, talk to us. Like, what did you think about the episode when you was listening in, and you know, what have you been up to?
All right, so I'll start off by saying I have been extremely busy because May is a busy time.
Mm-hmm.
I warned you guys ahead of time. But then we had some family stuff. I had to take care of family and everything. And then we went on vacation and regrouped, and that was nice. And then I had to come back and listen to the mess that you guys created.
Ooh. What you
Put
got?
some respect on my rompers, okay?
Never.
We didn't.
Never.
Okay, well,
Wait.
you were that bad. But
Oh, okay.
you...
Yeah,
So
I'm never that
who was bad?
You, of course,
Me.
always. You always gotta act like you got no sense.
Why? Talk to me. What did I do? What did I go
Rompers
wrong?
are near and dear to my heart.
Okay.
Because, yes, finding a shirt and pants is too much work sometimes, okay? It's
Okay.
too much.
Okay.
So, I love my rompers dearly. I wear them pretty much every day in the summer, a romper or a jumper. You remember I used to wear jumpers to work all the time.
Yes.
Thing. So, when you were like, nobody pulls them off, no one pulls them off.
I think I said not everyone can pull them off.
Everyone can, yeah. That is true, especially with the Romping. Not every man is going to be able to pull that off at all. But there are some that I'm just dying to see in one.
Who?
Who do I, off the top of my head,
Dramatic role.
Yeah, I was like, who?
A dramatic
like
pause, yeah.
the David Beckham types, those type of guys.
No, the models.
Yeah,
In a way,
slender
right,
but
yeah.
built. I don't know though, because I can also see like a bodybuilder dude in a romper with like a big collar. I'm just
I'm probably saying
thinking
more
about
than I
the
should.
No,
I'm probably
Thighs.
saying more than I should, but I've seen like a couple on Instagram with like bodybuilders in rompers and stuff. So
It's
No,
wonderful.
okay.
That's exciting to see.
I
Just
seen-
like you like to see certain women and things for their shape, women would probably like to see men in those for that thigh meat and that ass.
yeah, that's feeling a little self-conscious there now. Because yeah, that hit close to home right there for a second.
All that thigh meat. Your wife said, no, you're not showing off that thigh meat, sir.
Yes. See, and
None
I
of
would
that,
feel the
sir.
same way. Like if Locke tried to wear something like that, I would snatch and be like, "The hell are you doing?" But that's for me. But then on the top,
Rompers in the house.
Bedroom collection.
Yes,
You know what I'm saying? Okay. All right.
definitely.
Um,
But like you said, to each their own. But yeah, put some respect on my.
I'm not
rompers.
putting no respect on anybody's rompers. I don't care. And I just seen somebody from high school. They posted a pic. I guess they did it to like work on their kids' nerves. They was like, your kids tell you it's not cool. You know what you got to do as a parent. Since you tell them don't knock it before you try it. So they're in a picture with like a polka dot romper with the collar popped up. So I didn't know what to say to that. I was like, hey.
Somebody we went to school with?
Yeah. I'll find the name later. I'll
Should
find
we
it
put
later.
their business out there?
No. I'll find the name later.
Point them out. Point them out.
Nope.
Oh snap!
Nope. It's Shayna's first day back, and I'm already,
But
it's no need
You
for
know,
me.
y'all's granddaddies was wearing rompers. I just want to put that out
Hey,
there.
hey,
Oh, most likely.
hey. My granddaddy wasn't wearing a romper, okay? He wasn't wearing a romper. He just had on a
Yeah,
two
Mom.
belt. That was it.
And mom was wearing army fatigue, so
You know what
I
I'm
mean,
saying?
it's not that far a stretch.
That
I
is
guess.
true. That is true. Yeah. So yeah, I've been waiting to hear what Shayna was going to say about these rompers, because since she's the enthusiast of rompers, so apparently everybody wear your rompers, and
Enjoy the freedom and the laziness of it. It does get cold in the bathroom, though.
What? Why?
Because everything has to come off.
Really? Oh,
Your
yeah.
rompers at your ankles, pretty much. Yeah.
I didn't even think of that. I was like, so that really would get
We
weird.
said that.
Did we?
Yeah, because
I was.
Unless you
yeah.
got the baggy ones. I wear the baggy ones sometimes.
Is there a zipper in the front for guys?
Sometimes it depends on the make.
Ah, okay.
Zippers or buttons, one or the other. Yeah.
Zippers should probably suffice. Buttons might not be the smart thing.
Well, you remember There's Something About Mary?
Yes.
Remember the beginning where old buddy got a little too enthusiastic with his zipper?
Oh. Okay. Okay.
I mean, worst case scenario. Just
Okay, that is.
I wanted to take it there. I wanted to take it there.
Case scenario, but all right. But welcome back. What was the? How was your stay in Florida? Like, how was everything in Florida, Shane? Since you have a love-hate relationship apparently with Florida.
So, okay, Florida is great to visit every now and then. Driving is extremely frustrating in Florida, though. But, Universal Studios was cool to check out and everything. Shout out to Hilton Grand Vacations because the resort was wonderful to stay in. Again, this is my second time staying at a resort by them.
Okay. So they treat you well.
I definitely love it. Yes, it's actually a really, really nice family place. We're looking at investing a timeshare there. So we were using my dad's, so that was pretty neat. But yeah, Florida people cannot drive at all. They drive like they vote. It's ridiculous and outdated.
Slander. I love this. Keep going. Keep cooking.
Seriously, first of all, the tolls. There's just, in Orlando, there's so many tolls, and that's frustrating in itself. Especially when you make the wrong goddamn turn because you get confused and you have to go through the toll 3 times and you have to pay every time.
Oh, goodness.
Because it's automated.
You all were fucking up.
Distractions. But, yeah, that sucked. And then we just have, they merge so fucking slow. It was the most frustrating thing. And my biggest pet peeve, you don't signal your intention either. So not only are you in my way, I don't know which way you're going. So I can't go around you to get you out of my way. So frustrating. And the drive back was the worst. Because we drove from Indiana to Florida. And driving back, I really realized just how awful they were because it was a stormy day too. So we had storms every 10 minutes where you couldn't see anything in front of you. So that just made people drive even worse.
Right.
And again, like everyone on the road, they were fine except for if they had a Florida fucking license plate. They weren't merging properly or they were going extremely slow in the fast lane, just chilling. That extremely because I was trying to get home. If you are public service announcements, if you're going to be in the fast lane, you better be passing somebody up or you better be going 15 over the speed limit. Otherwise, move the fuck over. Period.
I wish I had it queued up. Move.
Yeesh.
Get out the way. Get out the way.
I have serious road rage, and that pisses me off
You sound like you're balling your fist up right now.
I kind of am. I had Arthur Fist the whole drive. No lie, my hand was up.
That's an Arthur Fist.
It was bad. I had so many moments. But yes, just Florida drivers. And even, like, when I got to Georgia, I was like, oh, thank God. Because even then, like, Georgia drivers, they're wonderful. They know if you come up on that butt, they move over immediately. And then they get back over if they need to, or they stay where they need to be.
You're an aggressive driver, too. That's terrible. You're a road rage and an aggressive driver. Oh, goodness.
Within reason. I respect the road. I just know what the hell I'm doing. I hate, like, if you don't know what you're doing, don't be behind the wheel, period. Just don't. Or stay in the slow lane until you figure it out. Because, you gotta learn.
Come on, Shayna. People have to learn how to go in the fast lane by going semi-fast. Everybody knows this, okay? You gotta
And you can go semi-fast in the slow lane until you learn how to go fast.
All right, Ricky Bobby, calm down. Okay? Calm down, Ricky Bobby.
No, but honestly, it was a trend all the way back to Indiana. Because, again, I would pass in Georgia people. No problem. Tennessee, slight problem. They think they're cool in their trucks, but I handle them. But even this, again, I didn't have issues until somebody from Florida was in front of me. Even going to the gym yesterday in good old Nauvoo, Indiana. Who's in my way and giving me grief? A Florida license plate. How did you get here? Go home. We're Indiana. This is the crossroads state, okay? We know how to drive. Don't get in my way.
Whoa.
Period.
Yeah, not as bad as Florida. I'll give y'all that. But, that's hilarious.
End rant. I just learned how to drive, use their signals, use the slow lane if you don't go fast, period, unless you're passing. And just pay attention to the road. Be aware of your surroundings. Be defensive. That's all. All I ask.
Well,
and another thing, why was everybody's car in Florida in a ditch? Because we have had so many cars leaving there too, where a car was just way off in a ditch somewhere, and there was a police, like it actively just happened, and the police are there helping them out. It's like, how do y'all keep going in ditches? Everywhere I went, there was a car in a ditch.
Why they got so many ditches to begin with?
that was the first question. I was like, why is there so many ditches, and why does each ditch have to be filled with the car?
They're reckless. It's just insane. It is insane.
I mean, that's what happens when you only have like 1 or 2 seasons, right? You know, it throws your other senses off.
That might be it. And also, I had another theory about Florida.
What?
But lost it. Oh, we were saying it's like all the smart elderly people moved to Georgia, and all of the crazy redneck insane people moved to Florida. And that's why Florida is the cesspool of bigotry and misogyny and everything that it is. We had a whole long rant about this.
I'm not touching that. It was like, well, you know what? I mean,
hold on.
Based on the crazy news you get coming out of there, it's not that much of a surprise.
Is there anything...
Georgia has its own problems, but it's not anywhere near as bad as when you cross that damn border. Everybody loses their goddamn mind the second they hit the sun.
I'm not gonna lie. When I seen a palm tree, I kind of freaked out. First time I drove through, I was just driving, and it was like, I was like, what the hell is that? And I was like, yo, that's a palm tree. Why the hell is it so? Why is it so big? Where the hell's the stuff?
I thought it was a TV prop.
Yo, like the first time I seen it, I was like, yo, there's really is palm trees. Like I thought it was gonna be like, kind of like you have like that one big tree or that one big plant in like a city, kind of like everybody knows. Nah, I didn't think it was gonna be like everything I saw was gonna be a palm tree. So, like I want to egg on this your hatred for Florida, but I can't even do anything with this. Like maybe the worst go to Florida, maybe some of the best go to Georgia. I don't really think so. I think most people
you try to find compliments for Florida. Struggling.
I got nothing. I mean, because Florida be fucking up. Like, let's be real. Florida fucks up, and they have some of the best, worst news ever. Like, you could do a whole series. We could do a whole podcast on guess what's happening in Florida. Kind of like you're like, guess what's happening in Japan. The crazy shit happening in Florida. And it'll be like a dude walked outside, punched the alligator. Or it'll be like 2 dudes or 2 people got into a Twitter beef, met each other at a Quickie Mart, and then like let off 10 shots at each other and eventually killed each other or like got into a fist fight. Like the most random things happen. Well, no, those aren't random things, but the most over the top random things happen out of Florida for sure.
I'm just saying, as I was there and witnessing some things just on the day to day, I was just like, this place is special.
Well, you don't know this yet, but end of October, you might be going back to Florida.
Again? I mean, I'm already going there the first week of July. Pray for me.
We'll send one up. But the whole OAF crew...
Don't let them hear this podcast, then.
Yeah, the whole OAF crew...
Don't let them hear this episode.
Yeah, we might have to wait till you... Like, just don't mention this episode. Just skip over it. Be like, hey, that one's bad audio or something. Like, try to trick them to listen to everything else but this episode. Put in the caption, no Florida people should listen. But yeah, might be going to Florida or Canada for the birthday. So we'll see how that goes.
Oh, that's very extreme differences, but okay.
I know, because a group of people want to go to Florida. They want to do Orlando, then Miami. Like last weekend of October. We'll sketch out the details. There'll be a Facebook group about it and everything. But I know I don't want to swim. Like, I don't know how you all feel. You ever been to, like, Florida? These places are supposed to be known for their beaches in, like, the fall or winter. We'll just transition to something else. Whenever I go, I don't want to swim in the fall or, like, close to the winter. Like, I don't want to go to the beach because the water's stupid cold, and that's not fun for me. Like, I don't want to be taking ice baths.
You ain't down for the polar bear plunge?
I've done the polar bear plunge once in my life, and it was at 4-H camp when I was little, and I said, never the fuck again.
At that age?
Yes. Those are my words getting out of that. I was like, never the fuck again. Like that. Like shivers.
Okay. No, that sounds more realistic, yeah.
All right. Grown Brent talking about younger Brent. More bass. All right? More bass. So for me, it's kind of like, yeah, we could party anywhere else. Like, if we're just doing clubs and stuff, like, Orlando's pretty dope. Now, that one I'm kind of interested in, but I don't want to go to the beach in the fall or winter. Like, I don't want to go in the winter because it's not going to be that warm. So, if that's going to be the option, why don't I just go somewhere that's, I know is going to be chilly or, like, cool, and just do indoor stuff or go hiking or something crazy. Like, you know, go snowboard, do some stuff that I would normally want to do around that time of year. What are y'all thoughts on that?
It would make more sense to me as far as if it's near the fall or winter and it's like not an area like on the opposite side of the world where they like Australia or something like that where it's hot over there. Is that kind of what you meant as far as
that
like
works perfect.
Or are we sticking strictly to USA?
No, that works perfect because I would rather be out of the country somewhere on the other side of the world where it is hot in season and life is good.
I can't really say because I went swimming in December in Florida with no problem at all. So it just depends on what weather you're dealt with, you know, and that time because it could be just as hot down there for that.
I guess that's true too.
Roll of dice.
I don't feel like crapping out like that. So,
I ain't taking chances.
But as we're talking about taking chances, though, have you all got to see the Far Cry 5 trailer? Because they're taking a chance, one, bringing the series to the United States, but also their theme seems to be very cult-like, or cult-like culture.
Beautiful segue. I gotta throw that out there, man. That was beautiful.
What was your thoughts on that? I got to see it. Let me get y'all thoughts, and I'll chime in with you all.
I'm actually trying to rewatch it again now, but from what I saw, it was kind of interesting as far as like they decided to stop being ethnic, for lack of better words.
Okay.
It's almost first three or four of these were taking place in jungles or in far off Asian or lands where here you are as this with the exception of RJ in the Asian one, where it's kind of like it's like taking place in the jungle and this, that, and the other, and then here you are as like a going off of that white savior trope as far as you learning the ways of that culture and then becoming the hero for that village or that country or whatever. This was interesting as far as it kind of makes me think of. Have you seen or played a little bit of Outlast 2?
Outlast, yes.
The first-person horror game, yeah.
Yes.
It kind of
Shayna's segment.
That game's nuts.
Okay, yeah. I kind of got some similarities from watching that to watching Outlast 2 as far as like. An overly religious cult taking over what looks like a small town and kind of enforcing their own laws, killing people that don't agree with it and going from there. It's kind of interesting. It's like it might give a little bit of a catharsis for people that want to sit there and kill who they perceive as racist rednecks. And health or and religious nuts and going from there, which is kind of funny. It's like this is a very timely release. I feel like, as far as pushing this trailer out here and pushing this type of game out here. But we'll have to see.
Go ahead, keep going.
Oh, I finished.
I think you brought up like some key points with the one, this being a timely release. I think this push right before E3 is going to be kind of like something special. Also, like the things that I think you're going to be able to do. and I know Shayna, you were talking with me a little bit beforehand, like if like I'm wondering how far will they let you delve into cult culture?
It's gonna, from what I'm reading now, that's like the whole center of it. It's a doomsday cult called Eden's Gate, led by the father and his children. And basically the residents of the city, Hope County, that area, the whole area, they're trying to resist the cult taking over, basically.
I just hope that they make some version of the story where you can take the option of helping the cult fuck up shit.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna. Okay, so I'm trying to think of a way to say this without it coming off crazy. Cult culture is like interesting. Like I don't want to be a part of any cult culture, but just like the way you hear about cults and a lot of the pretty much it basically has pretty much mostly all negative connotations. Can y'all think of anything positive that's basically given when you think of cults?
No.
Okay, because I was like, it's literally like almost 100% like negative connotation.
Yeah, Jonestown, or Jim Jones in Jonestown. This is the very first example that came to mind when you started talking about cults. To an extent,
Gate, the family.
Which one?
There's so many. Heaven's Gate and the family.
Okay.
I'd argue Westboro Baptist Church.
Yeah.
As far as how they
Scientology.
Yeah. There's a show that that's on Vice. If y'all get a chance to see it, called Jungletown, that made me think it's like, oh, this sounds exactly like they're recording the setup of Jonestown. It's like they got people sitting there paying to come in and basically build a city or build a village in this jungle in Panama. It looks like.
That's crazy.
Yeah, I haven't got around to watching it. It's like it's a couple episodes in, but I just have yet to feel like, yeah, I'm ready to be depressed. Let me go ahead and just tune in and watch this.
I'll give it at least a shot or so. But you all bring up very, these real things, and very few times, besides if you read like manifestos, things like that, that you get a chance to actually interact from a safe space with the ideology of cults. And I'm saying like most games, like if it's in media or games, things like that, or your movies or shows, like Family Guys, they've talked about cult life with Meg, not realizing, but she was like basically joining a cult and they were about to like kill themselves, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then you have shows like The 100. I don't know if you have ever seen it, but they had one that was like basically it was like the doomsday cult that was basically trying to save the human race, but they only
that's on CW, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, it is, because I forgot about that. I was watching I just forgot I'll sit there and finish the season finales of Flash and Arrow, and then they kept showing commercials for the 100. I don't know why I sitting there and forgot about that being there.
Hey, ain't no problem. But that one, I enjoyed that show. Like, I just finished the season finale for that. That was pretty good. But, like, they portray the cult in this one not as technically like everybody needs to drink the poison, drink the Kool-Aid, we're all going to die. They made it to where it was like the elite, the best, whatever, get in the cult, you make it through the ranks of the cult, and you'll survive, right? And I'm not going to spoil the show or anything, what happened to them, but like different media and outlets like portray these things some way in comical ways and other ways like these serious like death to everything type cults. So I'm wondering how this is going to work, because you have games like Fallout, which you could make a cult, you could use a cult to blow up a town or poison the water, and it has this ramification. So I'm wondering how they're going to take this spin. And are you the hero? Are you the hero who's like, I need to stop this, this is evil? Or will there be gray lines where
these guys aren't so bad, despite the sacrifices.
But people were doing sacrifices, to gods for a long time. So It's not really too unheard of.
It's just a return. It's just a return to formula. That's all it is.
That's it. Old practices. That's all. They're just.
As far as this game here, I don't know. It's like I don't think that as far as video games go, they're never really one to be subtle when it comes to different things. So as far as when they try, or as far as let me try this again. As video games have been pushing to be more cinematic in their story modes, they kind of play up on a lot of tropes and a lot of the cliche things that take place in movies and go from there. And that's kind of along the lines of what happened on the earlier Far Cry games, as far as playing through tropes. As I just mentioned, the one with Far Cry 3, which is the one I like the most, with Vaz in it. How they kind of played through tropes there and played through typical movie cliches and going from there. Maybe they've matured after these movies. Maybe they've matured a little. Or I said these movies. See, maybe they matured after those previous games. And I forgot about Far Cry Primal.
Yeah.
Was that DLC or was it its own game?
DLC, but it technically was a standalone game. Like, you could have that by itself or have it with the other ones. It was really weird. It came out at a weird time, too. But I'm going to say, when I seen this trailer, I was like, I really want to play this game. The whole eerie music in the background, you have the screaming in the background, a person, like a dead body floating in the lake. If you haven't seen it, check out Far Cry 5's announcement trailer. And then you get to the end where there's a person like running in the woods, and I'm like, what are they running? Because they're running for their lives. And every time I see somebody running in the woods, I'm like, hey, it makes me think of the Deadliest Game. Like, they're always being hunted, and you just see them you just hear them getting shot. And then, you think they're dead, they died or whatever because they just fall. So, and then that's kind of like, boom, trailer done. This is kind of like I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to hearing more about it and seeing is there going to be co-op? Can you infiltrate the cult? What can you do? How hands-on or hands-off can you be? You have any more thoughts on this before we segue out?
Just wait and see, pretty much. I'm sure we're going to get more details on it as far as the trailer, as y'all got more information on it than I did, as far as the actual names of the father and the children. We'll see. We'll see. As far as how they play up on those, as we mentioned earlier, as I mentioned earlier, those stereotypes and those tropes. And, hopefully they still stick to formula as far as gameplay and the actual aspect of the exploration and going from there. But who's to say as far as the actual story part, and if they sit there and go into all those intricacies about joining cults and going from there.
True. Shayna, thoughts real quick? Cool.
I'm really excited to play. Yes.
I
just can't wait to play because I love cults. They're so interesting.
Yeah.
They really are.
And we'll have another conversation about this, but we'll probably do that off air because that one's going to get in the weeds in a different way. But as we were talking about tropes, and I feel like movies are some of the best ways, one of the best media outlets that displays some of the best tropes that you have in film. And ran across a question about the best Blaxploitation parody. And I wanted to see which ones, maybe have y'all seen them, or what was your thoughts on these three? These three were nominated. I'm Gonna Get You, Sucker, Black Dynamite, and Undercover Brother. So, you can say which ones you're probably your favorite out of that, or just, what you liked that you remembered about them, or,
Well, out of those three, as I mentioned earlier on the Facebook group for Oafdiscussions, listeners, by all means, please join that. Mm-hmm. With that said, on the Oafdiscussions Facebook group, I mentioned that it was kind of a tie between I'm Gonna Get You, Sucker and Black Dynamite, simply because I recently watched Undercover Brother, and it didn't really hold up as much as I liked it when I was younger, and then I try to watch it a couple years later. It's just more kind of like, ugh, as far as all the stereotypes that they kind of went with, and it was kind of it just reminded me too much of how Vine and Twitter goes into those. When black people do this, they be like this. When white people be like, and it was like that kind of comedy is. I mean, it was what it was back then, back in like 90s, early 2000s. Right. But like, and hell, even further back when like Richard Pryor was in there giving those jokes out, or Red Fox or what have you, or not Red Fox, but or Richard Pryor, excuse me. And that, to me, that like them type of jokes kind of got tiresome after a while.
So it just didn't age well.
No, Undercover, in my opinion, Undercover Brother did not age well. Just kind of going on along with those stereotypes, and it just kind of it felt like it was trying to it carried itself off of those stereotypes, and once you got rid of those, it didn't hold up as much. Now with Black Dynamite. Mm-hmm. It was a parody on Blaxploitation in a specific era, in a specific time, as like those like early 70s and like Dolomite and Foxy Brown or Black Coffee, Shaft, and all that. And as far as for them to sit there and play up on certain things like at the very beginning where the guy that got killed, there's no spoilers for that, where the guy that got killed, it was Black Dynamite's brother. Yeah, well, it's in the very beginning of the movie too, so that you can't really spoil something that's in the opening scene. But anyway,
if you haven't seen it, we're gonna spoil it. Spoiler alert! There you go. Yeah, you got your caveat.
It's like different look, and like they not only made fun of just that era, it was just more of like literal technical aspects of how low budget Blaxploitation movies used to be. Like at the beginning scene where Black Dynamite's brother was getting killed. It was a person who was pretending to talk jive, but you could tell, but he was sitting there speaking in such a proper and Shakespearean manner. And that's kind of what happened back then, as far as they had to hire as far as the actors, because there weren't that many roles that went by, because this was a new genre. Yeah. They were getting black actors that were like Shakespearean actors, and for them to try to get them to talk jive, and sometimes it works, and sometimes it's very obvious what their forte is. Right. And then other little aspects like the boom mic being in the picture,
that's or what I remember.
Or having to do recuts because somebody messed up on the part, but they kept it in the movie, or just on the fact that they didn't have enough money to edit it out, and just like little stuff like that, and like they put time and effort into each and every little detail into that movie, and I'd say it holds up. And like, Michael Jai White is very underrated as an actor.
He is.
Yeah.
I agree completely.
And I'm Gonna Get You Sucker. They kind of encompass every type of black, or like every form of Blaxploitation movie. And whether it be, it's like everything that as far as Blaxploitation goes is like kung fu movies, like the early 70s, even like early 80s. And just kind of how we've developed, or how those type of movies have developed over time, and put that into its own little story. And that was like Keenan Ivory Wayans being like the innovator in a sense of those type of spoofs. Yeah, that kind of deteriorated after a while as far as the Wayans brothers go. But that's probably a topic for another discussion.
Ooh, yeah, we're gonna talk about that another day, because they had the Wayans brothers had a time where they were almost felt like king of the world.
When it comes to especially with their spoofs, but after Scary Movie 2, it kind of went downhill after that. After that,
how many?
Your opinion?
Shayna, you want to throw in on this, or?
I had only seen Undercover Brother out of all of his movies, so I cannot weigh in on too much.
Your thoughts on Undercover Brother?
I loved it when it first came out. I was a kid. I thought it was hilarious. But when I was like, I could pretty much quote the movie like line for line. And going back through it in my head, it's not that funny now. It didn't grow. But you know what movie is near and dear to my heart? Pootie, Tang.
So I was wondering why Pootie Tang wasn't on this list. And what's the movie with the person with the fish tank? With the fish in their shoes, and it cracks when
I'm Gonna Get You Sucker.
Oh, I'm Gonna Get You. Okay, I keep mixing that one up with 5 on the Black Hand Side. Pootie Tang needed to be on this list because
Would it be considered blaxploitation?
I always thought so, but I'm not sure.
Yeah, it tackles quite a few themes, I think.
Yeah.
Okay.
This fight against the one dude.
That's kind of weird because I've never really figured or never really knew what to actually box Pootie Tang in a category or give it a label. It was just so damn out there.
Yeah.
I felt like I'm at a loss when it comes to that.
Well,
but I mean, yeah, I could kind of see. I mean, like I could kind of see that as blaxploitation in a sense.
That's just kind of the group I always put it in. But hey, I have not got to watch Undercover Brother in years, so it's just all out for memory and nostalgia. But out of those, Black Dynamite or Undercover Brother would have been my favorite. And I only watch Undercover Brother because I know how outlandish it really is. So it's like the handshake when they're trying to get into the door, or the whole beginning scene where he's like, the deuce in the quarter, where he's like whipping it, and you just see the orange orange drink in the cup, and it never moves, and he like parks his car.
Yeah.
What, your uncle can't do that? I'm just saying, I've watched my Uncle Gino do that before.
We don't spill in my family, all right? Party fouls is for y'all, for those other folks. We're not about spilling our liquor or drinks. Like, that's not happening
At all.
So don't make this a race thing. It's like
talking about
so
just
you other
regular
folks. Who you mean you other folks?
All you that spill and do party fouls, I'm talking about you right now, all right? Talking about you. If you have to question it, you probably are it, okay? Because I know I ain't spilling nothing. It was like the badge of honor when I finally like didn't drive with two hands on the steering wheel, like, and one drink in the hand, knees on the wheel or hands on the one other hand on the wheel, and you just like multitasking, having a drink, this and that, non-alcoholic. For everybody out there wondering, just in case that sounded kind of weird.
Of course.
Non-alcoholic, no drinking and driving. But like, I remember Undercover Brother for those like over the top iconic, like him jumping in the air on the fight scene and doing that like Luke Kane kick, which literally lasts for like what feels like 15 seconds. He's in the air. Like, come on, this is way over the top. Or they do the
Chris Kattan's whole character where he's like talking back and forth between trying to be black and not.
Yep.
That scene. Hello.
David Chappelle.
Hey, Conspiracy Brother was wonderful.
It was he stole the show in every scene that he was in. Yeah. I'll give that much credit.
So that was probably mine, and then Black Dynamite's Black Dynamite. So and that made me actually watch the cartoon that came out a few years back. Black Dynamite, because I was like, I want to see what the animated version of this is going to be. So yeah, that's my thoughts on that. Pootie Tang, we might have to revisit Pootie Tang. Like, I think I'm gonna have to.
I think
we should live watch that.
We can do that.
Yes,
I'm with that.
I'm all for it. All
right, one more thing out of the OAF Facebook group. Would you rather wake up with the powers of the Flash, Wally West, or Spider-Man? It says Peter Parker, but I'll take Miles Morales if you have to.
See, this is hurting me because I'm a big Spider-Man fan. Mm-hmm. But with that said, if I could wake up with one power or the other, it'd probably be super speed.
You rather take super speed?
I would rather take super speed. On account of one, ain't too many buildings to swing around here in Lexington, so.
Okay, there's still some.
And two, the other reason is that I could get a lot done from a production standpoint. Commute, like whether I commute to and from work, commute as far as drawing, different like my animation podcast or stuff for the podcast or whatever, or just get a lot accomplished. And at the same time, he perceives time a lot slower or a lot quicker than everyone else. So what takes a second for, or what takes like a couple seconds for a normal person is like minutes to him. So I can sit there and be lazy in a fraction of the time if I just feel like laying around, and I'm ready to already take care of whatever I need to do while everyone else is still processing.
Got you.
What I just did. Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. This started off as like the most grown up answer ever. It was like, I just want to get things productive and all this. And he was like, then he perceives time slower than everything else, and I'm just gonna be lazy and procrastinate too.
I can do both. I can do both.
You can do both,
yeah.
And that's what's up. I'm gonna admit that whole time being slow thing, it will probably drive me up a wall. Like, I couldn't do it. Like, everything, like, it's like basically I'm spending eternity doing nothing. So what you would consider being boring now seems like a lifetime of being bored. And with all that superness, I'm probably not gonna do more productive stuff. Like, I'll just do trips other places and then come back, or as somebody's talking, I'll just leave and go get food and then come back. Like, I would probably be a bigger jerk.
Take care of your own travel around the world.
Yeah, like, some of those powers, like, outside of, like, the speed, like, running on water, that'd be dope. Making tornadoes, that'd be dope. You know, there's a lot of perks, and normally I pick Flash in all instance. All right? Because that's like, probably my favorite power. But Spider-Man, I'm not even worried. I'm going to treat it like the comics. Like, you just shoot it in the air somewhere, it grabs onto something. So we don't know what it grabs onto, but it grabs onto something off screen. And that's all I'm going to be doing, just shooting it, webbing stuff in the air. You talking crazy to me, webbing you in the mouth. Like, I'll be chilling, hanging upside down off stuff. Anybody wants to start a fight in a basketball game, like we're going to play pickup, I'm just going to leave you tied to the pole. Like, you ain't going to be able to tell me nothing. Plus, I get super strength and agility and spider senses, where I can tell where there's danger coming. Yeah, going to be a problem.
Yeah, I've had to mull over this, so it's just like it pained me, but nah, I still gotta go with super speed.
Long as I don't mutate with the 6 arms or the 8 arms, like, long as I don't do that mutation thing, I'm good.
Yeah. Plus, you have to go through a couple shitty movies.
So hey, they still made bank. I'll be all right. You can make me whatchamacallit, and I'll put on the all black and do the slide.
Oh God, that was the worst one.
Oh, that was probably my favorite one of them, just because he was like feeling himself for no reason. Yeah,
and he really thought he was so cool, and everybody else was looking like, "What the fuck is wrong with this kid?"
Yeah. Shayna, you got it? What's yours? What's your two? Which out of these two, what you got?
Out of these two, which are not my favorite choices at all.
Yep. That's why I picked it.
I would have to be the Flash, because I am lazy as fuck and I do everything last minute. So if I can do everything last minute really, really fast, I'm going to do that.
Sounds legit. While we're at it, and since we're talking about movies, so with Snyder having the family incident happening in his family, what's his actual name?
His Zack Snyder. Yeah.
Zack Snyder.
What do you mean? Like,
I just want to make sure I got his name right.
Okay, yeah. Well, what happened was that his daughter Autumn had committed suicide sometime back in March, and what Snyder decided to do was to kind of pull from the Justice League project, and Joss Whedon ended up stepping in to continue directing for several of the reshoots that are taking place for Justice League. This is, from what I'm showing, this is Whedon's first DC project, and this is his first. The next project that he actually does have going on for DC will end up being Batgirl eventually. But going forward right now at this immediate moment, he has taken care of things regarding the reshoots for Justice League.
Right.
So
I wanted to bring in the thought of, one, what's your thoughts about that? Will it, if this movie is a success or a failure, who will get the real props at the end of it? But at the end of it, and then also, what are your thoughts on handing over unfinished legacies, like things that you put your heart and soul into, these projects, these things that because of circumstances that you have to hand off unfinished to someone else and then watch them take it.
Honestly, I feel like it seems like the movie was almost already in the bag until it came about. Because, hell, Justice League's about to come out in November, so normally it's about this time where you start wrapping things up and just work on the production, or not production, but the, if anything, editing and promoting of this movies and getting ready for the release. So as far as him getting these reshoots taken care of, they're probably, honestly, I haven't seen anything as far as how many reshoots need to be taken care of anyway. So it kind of almost just sounds like some last minute polishing as far as having to take care of it and go from there. As far as the perception of what's going to happen here, what's most likely going to happen, if the people the internet loves Joss Whedon and they love shitting on Zack Snyder. So it's a damned if you do, damned if you don't situation. What's going to happen if the movie is terrible? They're going to cape for Joss Whedon, and they're going like, "Oh, he can only do so much." It's like it's like the reshoots. It was shit to begin with. All he could do was to just polish up a little turd and blah blah blah. But if it's actually good, Joss Whedon's going to sit there and end up getting the credit for it. And so they're going like, oh, yeah, this is what happens when you have a real director sitting to take care of the movie. So that's my perception of what's going to happen. If it's good, Joss Whedon's going to get the credit for it. If it's terrible, Zack Snyder's going to get the credit for it. And Joss Whedon will sit there and still be catered or still be caped for.
Okay. He does have the best alibi. If the movie's terrible, he can basically say the heart and soul and guts of this was already done. I just basically ushered this to the finish line.
I don't think he'd be petty enough to. Well, I mean, then again, he did have complaints about. You ever seen Alien Resurrection?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, he did. He did kind of have complaints as far as that movie. It's like all the producers had too much, or the producers had their hand in it and blah 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 blah. And it's like, but you still made it. So
right.
So, but as far as him taking the helm, taking over for Zack Snyder, I don't believe he'd throw Snyder under the bus.
Okay.
But if anything, the internet will sit there and speak for him on that.
That's what the internet's there for.
That's what I think. That's what I think is going to happen. They're gonna draw their own conclusions from it and go from there. So.
Okay. Shayna, I know this is probably news to you since this all happened while you was enjoying your time on the road in Florida.
Yeah, I don't really have an opinion on it. I mean, sometimes the show's got to go on. So.
Yeah. I mean, he said that. He was
I'm sorry for his loss.
Yeah, sorry for the loss. He did mention that Snyder was like, he was trying to like put himself back into work because many people's well, I'm not gonna say many people, but everybody deals with severities of situations in life, disasters in different ways. So he tried to put himself back into the work and just kind of keep going and, put his love into something else to kind of like keep the hurt away. But he said, he had to take a step back because his family needs him. So shouts out to anybody that, sometimes it takes horrible incidents for people to realize that they need to take care of the treasures that they do have in their life. I'm just gonna leave it at that.
It's just kind of that as far as the circumstances for him to leave, that much does suck. I mean, like I kind of feel bad for glossing over that as far as like your daughter committed suicide. Yeah, so and this took for him to push through this far. This took place back in March, and here he is just now stepping away in May. That kind of shows some strength and character there, but for the grief to get to him that much is like, what, I need to back away from this. I need time to process and go from there. And like that's nothing to scoff at. That's nothing to mock. Go forward. It's it is what it is. It's like it's unfortunate, and condolences go out to him on my end, I'd say. And for him to go this, as I just said, for him to go this far into finishing the movie says a lot about him as far as I already just said this. Now that I think about it, I already said this. Yeah, that says a lot about his character. I'll leave it at that.
So I think you just gave me a great segue for this. So because I learned something new this week. I'm not really into. No, I should say I enjoy watching figure skating. I am not a huge like. I don't know the facts and stories of figure skating. Like, if I catch a 30 for 30 on something great about figure skating, I'll watch it. Something like if it's the Olympics, I'll watch it. But I ran across this video of who I'm going to call the GOAT, or one of the GOATs of figure skating, was a young Bonelli. I'm gonna spell it. I probably said it completely wrong. Bonally. What would y'all call that?
Bonally.
Yeah.
Banali.
All right. So Banali got her.
Does she have a last name?
I think that is her last name.
No, it's not.
That's her first name.
Yeah, the last name. Yeah, first name is Surye.
Okay, yeah, I thought
Surye Banali.
Bingo.
Well, she's 43. Okay, this took place in 90.
Yeah, I'm talking about the young her. I'm talking about the young.
Okay.
She was in her,
So I was kind of confused. It's like when you were sitting there talking about the time. Okay, the timing threw me off a little bit because I was sitting there searching for it and everything now as you mentioned it. But okay, go ahead.
Just rock with me, all right? Just rock with me. And this is shouts out to our very own OAF fountain of oddball knowledge. Ashley. This was, her having this whole discussion with me on Facebook, and she was dropping me the stats and everything. But there's a video of her doing a backflip on ice skates in a competition. And I'm not going to lie. I was watching the routine. I was like, okay, this routine's cool, whatever. It seems very clean. I don't know how to judge a routine. But then at the very end, she does this crazy backflip. I literally realized I would die because as she did her backflip, I was like, right there is where my head hits the ice. Right there. Because I wouldn't make it all the way over a full turn. But apparently this move is named after her and banned as well because no one else has been able to do it. And they basically said she was cheating because she did it. And she was able to do it. Or something like this. She got, points taken off. So I just want to shout her out just because I learned something new about ice skating, and I haven't heard somebody getting a move named after them besides like AI's crossover and then getting it banned by the league, like by the organization that they played for. So for me, she's up there in the book as one of the GOATs for this happening, and still apparently till today, no one has been able to replicate this backflip. It's amazing though. I don't know if y'all got a chance to see it.
Mm-hmm. I'm watching the video now. So when did this happen again?
In 1998 in the Winter Olympics in Nagano, Japan.
Okay. Wow.
Did you see the flip yet?
Yes, she just did it.
Yeah, that's crazy. And she lands it on one foot. So I didn't know there was regulations about you have to land on one foot per jump, which makes sense. Unable
to complete her planned routine due to injury, Bonelli decided to perform her backflip landing on one blade during the free skate. The move, illegal in competition, caused a stir and resulted in a deduction, but Bonelli was content with her decision. She finished 10th in Nagano and retired for amateur competition after the event.
That's what I'm talking about.
So the fact that she pulled this move off because of an injury and was able to pull something off just so
crazy.
And then for them to sit there and as far as it being illegal, was it illegal before it took place, or was it?
I think they didn't have
made illegal right then and there.
I think it was made illegal right after that. They deducted points and then they reviewed and made that illegal because no one else was able to do it. Is what
pulling an Air Bud.
Yeah,
there's no rule. There's no rule in the book that says a dog can't play basketball.
There's no rule, but you can't do that. It's not possible. But apparently, it could if. The sources said it could hurt the ice depending on how the pressure of coming down. So there was some rulings on that. I can get that from a safety aspect, but you landed the freaking trick. Like, that's like somebody coming up to Tony Hawk when he did the first, 720?
900.
Or 900? When he did the first 900 and being like, no. You could have shattered the wood. You could have shattered the ramp. Like, get out of here. You better cheer for this. Like, you better enjoy this magic that's happening. So, that was a pretty cool thing that I learned this week, in the last couple of days. And, you can see all the fun things that I learned because I post quite often in the OAF Discussions Facebook group. Was there anything else y'all want to, anything else y'all want to talk about before we close up?
I couldn't think of anything. No, I'm kind of thrown all the way off because I just, as far as this Skype call and everything, just having to relocate back and forth all over the place, and
it
other
happens,
than
man.
I'm just all the way thrown off. But nah, I think we did I think we covered all we needed to, for real.
Last thoughts by
Make
anybody?
this short and succinct.
No, shout out to my cousin Sierra for graduation this week. That was awesome.
Oh,
Yay for her.
Any shouts outs? Anybody graduating in your world, Web? Want to shout out?
Nope. No, everybody's. I'm getting old. Everybody around me is already taken care of, graduated, and whatnot. So.
Well, shouts out to the family members, Lil Mike, Constance, Lil Mike and Mikhail, y'all graduating. And Gary, looking forward to it when you get back, man. Safe travels. I know y'all missed the one and only Gary on here, but you can find us at Oafdiscussions on Twitter. You can email us at oafdiscussions@gmail.com, or check our website at www.oafdiscussions, or just put it in Google.
Say oaf, man. Oaf discussion. There you go.
All right.
Yeah. You're making it easier, making it harder on yourself.
Yeah, it don't bother me none. I've been doing it too long. So you can find us on Twitter as Oafdiscussions. That's Web. And you can find him
Web
at
859 on Twitter. I don't do much on Instagram for real. But even then, if you care, web.859 on Instagram. Don't worry about my Snapchat. I don't do anything on there. I just stalk. So
he's lurking.
I said too much.
He's lurking. We have the one and only Shayna back.
Indeed.
You want to tell them where they
Missed
can
you
find
guys. You can find me at Shayna NB. I'll be there sometimes on Twitter.
Occasionally. And possibly if you see her in Florida or behind you, get out of the way. Okay? Just get out.
That's all I ask. Or just signal your intention.
Please always use signals, okay? Or you'll have a Shayna on your ass. And you don't.
We're getting a megaphone.
Oh no! Please don't get a damn megaphone.
I had one in high school.
Next episode, we're going to talk about all the wrong ways. How many ways that's just wrong. I am Mr. Brent, LL Cool B 22. Gary's at KN Kid Swift. And Jake, who's not on, hopefully we'll get you back on next time, is at Jake_688 on Twitter. Again, this is OAF. Have a great day. Peace.
Peace. Deuces.
Arrivederci.
There it is.